If you've ever watched a video about how much YouTubers make, you'll know that there isn't a one-size-fits-all number that tells you how much we make from each view. So that's why today I'm going through precisely how much YouTube paid me in my first month being monetized. I'm also going to talk about how you guys can figure out how much your favorite YouTubers are making, and finally why these YouTubers might be lying to you about how much they make off of YouTube. Here are the timestamps for some of the topics I'll be covering in this video. I think all of these topics are relevant to how much I make and how much YouTubers in general make, but if you're more interested in one topic or another, just feel free to skip around. One of the most important metrics to know about making money from YouTube is CPM, or cost per meal. Meal means thousand, and what cost per meal is the amount that advertisers are willing to spend to show their advertisement in front of 1,000 unique viewers. So say your channel's CPM is around $33, like Graham Stephan's. Advertisers are willing to pay YouTube $33 to get their ads in front of Graham Stephan's videos 1,000 times. And CPMs vary wildly across different YouTube channels based on a number of different things, such as the genre of the video, the viewer's age, their gender, their country of origin, etc. These demographics matter so much because certain audiences have a lot more money to spend than other audiences. People watching entrepreneurship type videos probably have a lot more disposable income than other viewers watching Minecraft videos. The same way that 25 to 50-year-olds have more disposable income than 13 to 17-year-olds. And this should make sense because advertisers want to put out their ads to the audiences that have the most amount of money that they can give them. So after explaining CPM, you might be thinking, if my CPM is $10 and I get 1,000 views, then I should get $10, right? Nope. And that is because of the second most important metric, monetized playbacks. You know how occasionally when you click a video, you won't get shown an ad? Well, in that case, that YouTuber makes no money from your view. Monetized playbacks refer to the amount of times a viewer has watched a video and been shown an ad. Okay, so then you might be thinking your monetized playbacks multiplied by your CPM divided by 1,000 should be how much money you get, right? Yeah, wrong again. Don't forget, YouTube needs to make their money too, and right now they take around 45% of all the money generated from these advertisers. And this brings us to the final metric, which is RPM, which is revenue per meal, and this number tells you exactly how much money you're taking home per 1,000 views. That is, of course, if you don't factor in taxes, which is a whole nother story. So now let's take a look at what my numbers look like. I've got my dashboard pulled up right here. So in my first month, I made $418.95. Ugh, so close to 420. It's honestly pretty crazy that I've been able to make this amount of money after only starting YouTube in April of this year and getting monetized last month in July. We can see my CPM is about $7.83, and my RPM is a decent amount lower than that, only around $1.88 because of the reasons I talked about before. Going day by day, we can see that my first day being monetized on July 2nd, I actually made $28.03, followed by $28.46 the next day because my two big videos were still gaining lots of views at that time. It's come back down since then, and by the end of the first month, I was making around or a little below $10 a day. Looking at the actual video breakdown, we can see that the majority of the money that I've made has been from the video about how I studied 300 LeetCode problems, followed by my day in the life as an Amazon intern. I actually only had around 2,000 subscribers at the start of July, and by the beginning of August, I had around 16,000 subscribers. So this right here is kind of evidence that subscribers don't really matter when it comes to making money from YouTube. And this is just because the only thing that matters is how many views you get, and subscribers only provide an initial viewer base for your videos. I think one thing that's pretty funny to me is the amount of money I've made from my shorts. I recently started posting a couple shorts here and there, and this one has 5 million views and has generated me just over $2, which is absurd because if I had a long form video with that many views, I'd probably have made over $10,000 from just that one video. Again, each YouTuber makes a different amount of money per view. This is because each YouTuber has their own niche of content, and that niche is the primary driver of how much money they make on YouTube. Ali Abdaal made a video about his earnings recently, and it shows that even on a video to video basis, there can be a big range in CPM and RPM. In his website creation video, his RPM went to an astounding $48, while his video about how fast he can type only reached about $3 in CPM. Some notable niches are Amazon FBA or e-commerce. These niches have incredibly high CPM and RPM numbers. The audiences for these niches want to build businesses and are into entrepreneurship and are willing to spend money to get those businesses up and running. As a result, a lot of the advertisers on these videos are from course creators who have virtually no overhead in their businesses, and their biggest expense is usually just advertising. And when courses these days cost thousands of dollars, these companies can spend hundreds of dollars to get a client and it would still be immensely profitable for them. On the flip side, there are niches like gaming that pay an abysmally low amount to their creators. Even just taking a look at my videos, my primary audiences are from the United States and from India, and the CPMs from these two countries are really different, from around $12 for the United States to only about $1 for India. So with that said, if you're curious about how much your favorite YouTuber makes, it's actually not that hard to figure out. Oftentimes these creators have videos where they've released their own numbers publicly, and if you can find their RPM or CPM number in that video, you can really quickly take a look at how many views they have, multiply it by the CPM or RPM, and from that way figure out how much money they've made. Or if they haven't released their own numbers, you can take a look and see if there are any competitors that have released their numbers and then compare their numbers with the competitors. And it won't be perfect, but often within the niches, the financial numbers stay pretty similar. So I think my numbers are pretty interesting because you can interpret it one of two ways. I think the first would be that after getting a couple 100,000 views, it might be pretty disappointing that I've only made a couple $100. And the other side would be that these numbers serve as proof that you can make a pretty substantial amount of money doing something just as a hobby or on the side. And the one thing I will say about this is if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel for yourself and are either worried that no one will watch your videos or that you might get a low RPM like I have, YouTube is an exponential game. Right now, I only have about 16,000 subscribers, but if I stay consistent with my weekly uploads or up it to twice a week, I think that 16,000 number might be a lot bigger by this time next year and even bigger in the years to come. So if I'm making $400 a month this year, maybe next year it'll be $800 a month and then $2,000 a month the year after. So even though it's small money now, the exponential effect that YouTube can potentially have is a game changer. Alright, so the reason why YouTube AdSense revenue is not indicative of how much your favorite YouTuber makes is just because there are so many other revenue streams from YouTube that AdSense is actually generally a small part of it. There are tons of other ways that YouTubers can make money. The biggest other ones that I'm sure you're aware of are things like selling merchandise, doing the 30-second sponsors that you see in a lot of other creators' videos, as well as affiliate marketing links. If you don't know what affiliate links are, basically if you look at a lot of YouTubers' description boxes, there are links to sign up for things like stock brokerages like Robinhood or Coinbase, or to buy things from Amazon like books or equipment. These links all have trackers attached to them where once you click on that link and sign up for their product or service, the creator gets a little bit of kickback for driving some sales to that company. As you can see in this creator's revenue, she made less than $2,000 from her AdSense revenue, but almost $50,000 from her affiliate marketing revenue in the first half of 2022. So yeah, AdSense revenue might be really misleading. As for sponsorships, it's really difficult to gauge exactly how much your favorite YouTuber is making from them, and this is just because they're usually protected by NDAs, but from what I've read and watched on YouTube and Reddit, it seems like sponsorships generally bring in more revenue than your AdSense revenue. So yeah, there it is. In my first month being monetized, I made $419.84. I hope this video gave you a little bit more clarity into how much money YouTubers make and their earning potential in general. If you're interested in more of this content, I plan on making one of these every year. I think it'd be pretty cool for both you and me to look back after each year and see how far this channel has come. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing for the YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.